the form of quadratic equation. Let's look at it. Quadratic equation is given as x squared plus 7x plus 12. So we can see we have what's called letters and numbers. That's why quadratic equation will take the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Let me explain something here. When you're talking about ax squared plus bx plus c, a, b, and c are called constants. These are constants, or rather numbers, real numbers. Then a, b, and c. So these are what we're going to use to help us solve quadratic equation. In the given equation, x squared, let us start now solving. So solution. We've been given the equation as x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. So the first thing we have to know is to identify the values of a, b, and c. Let us identify. Since here we have x squared alone, we say that the coefficient of x squared is going to be 1. Let's look. So the coefficient a, here is a, here is b, and then here is c. So the value of a will be equals to 1 because you don't have any number that comes before x squared. And then the value of b will be 7, and the value of c will be 12. So we know the value of a, the value of b, and the value of c. That's key in quadratic equation. After knowing that, the next thing you have to understand is how do we use this formula? So we're going to start giving solutions starting with the sum product method. Sum product method. So let us look at how we use sum product method to solve this equation. So you look at two numbers that if sum product method, how does it work? You look at two numbers that if you multiply will give you 12, will give you 12, and if you add will give you 7. Why am I saying that? Product equals AC, and the value of A is 1, the value of C is 12, and sum is the value of B. The sum is the value of B. So here AC will be A is 1 times C is 12, this will give you 12, and B is 7, and this will be equal to 7. So we say that the two numbers, product is 12, sum is 7. So how are we supposed to come up with a solution? You say that you now ask yourself, which two numbers, if I multiply, will give me 12, and if I add, will give me 7. So in sum product method, one of the things we're going to do is to propose, or rather guess, two numbers, but these numbers must be correct. So the numbers that if you multiply will give you 12, and if you add will give you 7. You only have two sets of numbers. That is, first one will be 3, and times 4 will be equals to 12, and then 3 plus 4 will also be equals to 7. So this satisfies product, and then this will satisfy the sum. This satisfies the sum. So our two numbers is 3 and 4. Once you've gotten the two numbers, you come back to your equation, x squared plus 7x plus 12. Then you replace the position of b with the two numbers that you've gotten. So you'll have x squared plus, let me rewrite the equation again, 7x plus 12 equals to 0. But now the position of 7, the whole of this position, this way we are going to replace the newly found numbers. So the first number we are seeing there is positive 3 and positive 4. So you write here x squared plus 3x plus 4x. So we replace the position of b, and then you add the position, you let the position of c remain constant. 12 equals to 0. Then you factor out like terms. Here you're going to have x into x plus 3. And of course here 4 is the one that can divide everything. So you're going to have 4 into x plus 3. This will give you 0. Once you have that, this one is positive, so you're going to factorize it. It will take x plus 4, and then this one and this one are the same. So you only pick one. So you'll have x plus 4, and then x plus 3 equals 0. Therefore, we can say that x equals negative 4 or x equals negative 3. And that's how we solve a quadratic equation using sum and product method. That's how we solve a quadratic equation using sum and product method. Now let us continue. That is sum and product method. There's a secret there. When you're speaking about quadratic, now let me tell you how you must confirm that your answers are correct. When you're speaking about quadratic equation, one way to know whether your answer is correct or not, you can take the value, for example negative 4, and then replace it back in this equation. If you get 0, then that one is one of the signs that will show you that your workings is correct. Let us try and see. If, for example, this equation, x squared, we have plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. So I'm taking negative 4. Negative 4 squared plus 7 times negative 4 plus 12 will be equals to what? Negative 4 squared will be positive 16 plus 7 times negative 4 will be minus 28, and then plus 12. This will give me what? If you take 16, then you subtract 28, you're going to remain with negative 12. Negative 12 plus positive 12 is equals to 0. And so, we can conclude that the two answers you've gotten are correct. Another way of knowing whether your answer is correct is this way. When you speak about x squared, the word square here, this is a sure sign that most people are not aware, but this tells you that the answer you're going to get must be 2. If it would have been x cubed, then you would have gotten 3 answers. And by the way, x squared, if you to draw a Cartesian plane, then you realize that it will cut the x-axis twice. And that's why we say that the solutions you're going to get, you must get the value of x. They have to be 2 values, not 1, but rather 2. Another simple, fun trick that you need to understand. So that's hint about quadratic equations. So that one I've said is sum product method. We want to use the same sum now using completing square method to find the solutions. Are we going to get the correct answer? Let's see. Now, completing square method. Something funny about completing square method. This is the first secret about completing square method. When you're dealing with the completing square method, for example, you've been given x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equals to 0, then you must ensure that the coefficient of x squared, sometimes called the highest power, is 1. If this coefficient is not 1, then you have to divide it through by the number which we have here. For example, if you were to have 2x, this is just an example, 2x squared plus even 3x, then plus 12 equals to 0. Let me write here, plus 8 equals to 0. Then you realize that the coefficient of x squared is not 1, but rather it is 2. So what must we do? We must reduce the coefficient of x squared to 1. By doing what? We divide everything by 2, like that, and like that, and like that. So you remain with x squared plus 3 over 2x plus 4 is equals to 0. Remember, that was not the equation that you should do. I was just giving you an example of what you must do when you're dealing with completing square method. So I'll say, 1, you must ensure that the coefficient of x squared is 1, right? So let us continue to the question we have. Remember the answers we got using sum product, we were having -4 and -3. Those are the two answers that we got. Let us look at sum completing square method. So in completing square method, the first thing you do is to ensure that you take the number, that's C, on the other side, so that you can remain with x squared plus 7x is equals to, when this one crosses, it will be -12. That's the first thing you have to do. So once you remain with this and this, 7x squared plus 7x, this 7x, remember it's the 7x, all 7 rather occupy the position of B. And in completing square method, the one thing you have to do is to take the value of B, then divide by 2 and square. And then once you do this, add it on the right hand side and also on the left hand side, so that our value of B there will be 7. So you take 7 over 2 and then you square. The answer you get here, you add it here and also here. You will have x squared plus 7, which is the value of B, x, plus 7 over 2 squared. Remember the value of B. So here B is 7. 7, you divide by 2 squared. If here was 3, you will have 3 divided by 2. But since it is 7, you're going to have 7 divided by 2 to be equal 12, which is -12, and then plus 7. Remember what you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. Over 2, and then you square. So this one will give you x squared plus 7x plus 7 over 2 squared is equals to -12 plus 49 over 4. There's a secret here. Don't always open this one. It will give you a difficult task in dealing with it. Just leave it the way it is. Once you reached here, you can see here is squared and here is square. And therefore you can collect the like terms and then put them in a bracket. Not even the like terms, but rather the numbers and letters that are squared, and then put them inside a bracket. So you can have x plus 7 over 2, and we can say all these ones are squared. Now you leave the position, the value of 7x, then you say this equal to -12 plus 49 everything over 4. Now we're going to have x plus 7 over 2 equals -12 plus 49 over 4. Now, look at these two numbers. You can now look for the LCM, you'll get there 4, or you can press in your calculator. So there you're going to have -48 and then plus 49. 4 goes here once, you're going to have 49. So you have x plus 7 over 2 will be equals to, squared is equal to 1 over 4 positive. Now to remove the square, you look for the square root on both sides. Square root on both sides. Then you remain with x plus 7 over 2 equals plus or minus 1 over 2. Now let us look for the value of x. Remember, the square root of a number must be positive or negative. So x will be equals to, if you bring this one on this other side, it's going to be negative. So we're going to have plus or minus a half minus 7 over 2. So we're starting with positive. If it is positive, you'll have x is equals to a half, that's positive, minus 7 over 2. And of course, you can see we have a common denominator. So you'll have 2 as the LCM. 2 goes there 1. You're going to have 1 minus 7 goes, 2 goes there 1, so 7, that will give you -6 over 2. And our first answer will be -3, which is confirmed here. And then we continue and take it when it is negative. If it's negative, we're going to have x is equals to minus a half minus 7 over 2 is going to be 2 over negative 1 minus 7. This will give you minus 8 over 2 and we remain with negative 4. So, using completing square method, we've also realized we're going to get negative 4 and negative 3. So that's how we use what's known as completing square method to solve a quadratic equation. Let me give you a question so that at least you try and then I see whether you are able to get the answer. You are going to use completing square method. So, this one you solve, then I want to see the answer that you're going to get. Let me write here. So, solve using completing square method, then try this one and I want to see that you're going to get 3x squared minus 4x plus 6 equals to 0. So, solve this one. If you get the correct answer, please you will leave. You can type your answer and then I'll see the answer you've gotten, then I'll give you the correct answer in the comment section. Go to the comment section, type your answer, or you can also reach me directly through my WhatsApp number at +2 541100 95384. And reach me through that. And if you want, maybe if you want the answer inbox, you can reach me through this number or at my email at okalgabi20@gmail.com. So you can reach me through this media if you want. If you want maybe any clarification concerning the two sums, concerning the sum that I've done, one sum product, another one is completing square method. So that's one way of solving two ways of solving a quadratic equation. The last we're going to look is called quadratic formula. We are not going to look at the graphical method, but I'll just give you a clue concerning graphical method. So our next, we're going to look at what is called quadratic formula.